Hey everybody, it's Beth. Welcome to Infinite Garden. This week I'm on vacation. I'm at the beach and I am going to offer up this video as a thank you to all of my existing and new subscribers. I recently crossed the 8,000 subscriber threshold mark and I'm so grateful to all of you. And I thought I would record an Ask Me Anything video just to help people get to know me a little bit better. And for those of you who've been with me from the beginning, just to connect a little bit more. So I received some really great questions and I thought I would just click through them. I'm doing this on my iPhone and I'm not going to edit it. I'm going to just upload as soon as I'm done here. So please forgive any, stuttering if that happens, or just general sort of imperfections. We're just going with this. So the first question I got was from Louise, who's been with me from the beginning. Louise, you are such an inspiration and comfort to me. Thank you so much for all of your support. You recently celebrated a 20th wedding anniversary. Congratulations to you. And I know you love your cottage. I hope you can enjoy the sound of the water here. I'm in northern Michigan right now. Your question was, how long have I been married? And I was kind of excited to answer this question because it's a huge part of my life and I haven't been sure about how to really talk about it on the channel. But I've been married, it'll be 6 years next month. I got married for a second time when I was 40. And this is my second marriage and it's such a happy marriage. I don't talk a lot about this on my channel, but I probably should. I've thought before about should I talk about these things behind a Patreon wall, which I don't have a Patreon, but if I did, is that where that would go? Or should I put it out here on YouTube for all to see? It feels very personal and I don't love talking about other people in my life who maybe have different privacy needs than mine. I'm okay putting myself out here on YouTube and others have different privacy needs. So I'll say this about my husband. He is a wonderful person. When I met him, I was really done with men and relationships and had no desire to ever meet another man, date another man, certainly not marry another man. And I was just really solid on that. I had enough, frankly, at that point. And that maybe sounds harsh, but I think some of us have been there. People get there from time to time. And what happened with us is that there was a party at a friend's house. In Detroit, there used to be, kind of pre-COVID, a wine club where one person would host and then they'd pick a style of wine and people would come to the party with examples of that wine. So the night that we met, it was a Willamette Valley Pinot Noir night, and it was in the fall. And I went alone and expected that just to be the end of the story. And he was going to stay home that night. It was a Saturday, and he was home. He was meditating, and then got the inkling to go out. And he didn't shave his face or put in contacts, which, now that I know him, I know for sure that means he wasn't planning to meet anybody. And we ended up sitting next to each other on a sofa. And I guess when he walked in to the party, the host said, "Oh, there's a really nice woman here. Who are you dating?" And he said, "Nobody. I don't want to meet anybody. I don't want to meet her." And then he ended up sitting next to me. And 10 months later, we were engaged. And then a year after that, we were married. And what's been so good about this marriage has been that he is a fully formed, independent adult. And he respects that I am too. I don't think when I was younger, when you're relying more on potential and you're thinking more about, what society has told you should expect from your marriages, maybe you don't know what you actually want for yourself. All of those things are at play and it becomes harder, I think, to get it right. I don't know. I know that coming into this second marriage as a totally fully formed independent adult with another fully formed independent adult has been, in my case, it's been a happy experience. One of the things I liked about him is that, I say this sometimes, we talk a lot in the world, I guess, about the divine feminine, and I think we forget sometimes to talk about the divine masculine and what that can mean, and I feel like he exhibits the divine masculine, and I mean that because he is kind and strong and ethical, and he fights for the right thing. He fights against injustice. He is energetic and active. He loves to have fun. He's the life of the party, and he's foundationally, primarily kind. And pets and babies see it. He's the kind of person that little children and little pets will crawl into his lap and fall asleep. He's that kind of person. And I have just really appreciated being with a grown man who's not intimidated by my career success or my independence, and is able to revel in that and take joy in it because we are so well matched. So it's been, I had to wait a long time, and go through a lot of real pain in order to get here. And so I have full awareness of how lucky I am. It wasn't something that I expected. I don't take it for granted. And I am just so very, very lucky. I know how hard that is to find. I know that. I could deeply understand. I've got notes here because I wanted to have thoughtful answers. And one of the things I liked about him was that he loves to dance. He introduced me to salsa dancing. We've done less since COVID, but I like that he loves to go out and have fun in this kind of active, joyful way. And it's really enriched my life to be together, and I'm very happy about it. So we have our 6th wedding anniversary next month. It's been amazing. Thank you, Louise, for the question. I hope you're having a really happy anniversary celebration. 20 years is a big deal. Okay, another question I got, it was a combo question from C. Blake, and it was, one of the parts of the question was, what have I learned about life? And I really sat on this. I've been here a couple days. I'm right here looking at the water behind me, and I have been watching the waves roll in. I'm here on Grand Traverse Bay, if you know where that is in northern Michigan. And it gives me a great opportunity to think about what I've learned about life. And I guess I would say, I'm sorry, I hope you're not getting seasick as I'm adjusting this. The first thing I wrote was that life is a mystery, and then the next thing I wrote was everyone must stand alone, and then I started singing like a prayer. But I do really mean that life is a mystery. I have learned overall for myself that I think the thing that matters most in life is how we treat one another. More than anything else, that everything else is noise compared to how we treat one another. And in all fairness, I don't always live up to my own standards. Sometimes I will get in my head and I'll become overwhelmed by emotion or frustration, and I can be short with people and I don't think I treat people badly, but like I said, I don't think I always live up to my own standard, and I'm trying every day to improve my consciousness and to improve my sense of presence, so I can remember that I'm in front of another human and I need to slow down. I think all of us could maybe there's some people who are perfect, but I think all of us could work on that a little bit. Life is hard. Modern life is hard. I think we're all overwhelmed. My belief is that, my kind of foundational spiritual belief is that Earth itself is a heavenly realm. It really is. It's humans and the way we treat one another that make it heaven or the other place, And I really believe that we have the power to do better and to make the world a better place. And I believe that, let me switch my page here, I also believe that we should work to dismantle injustice and inequity when possible. I also believe that any system or person that is trying to sow seeds of division between us is working for the other place. I really do. I believe that every one of us, this is my personal belief, I believe that every one of us is a point of divinity that leads back to the same source. Every one of us, regardless of what we practice for religion or where we live or what we look like, I believe we are all hosting the same thing that goes back to the same place. And that if we are together, if we combine our points of light with one another, I think that we can actually meet the standard of having heaven on earth. And if someone's trying to divide us up, I think it's to diminish the power of us. And so I'm always wary of that. That's the one thing I've learned, to always look askance at anyone who's trying to sow fear or a sense of division among us. I don't believe in it. I don't believe we are separate. I've also learned, this is the other thing I wrote in my notes, I've also learned not to believe everything that I think. I've talked about this before on my channel. There's a bumper sticker you see sometimes that says, don't believe everything that you think. I totally agree with that. I know that in my own case, that I have at times hosted concepts or ideas that I don't know where they came from. They came from the outer world, and I accepted them and held beliefs that were ultimately injurious to me or to the life that I want to live. And so I've tried to remain really open to updating my thinking when I learn something more, or when I have some kind of aha moment, and to allow my thinking to be flexible and not to get attached to ideas, which, what are they even? You know, what is an idea? It's a construct based on what we can put together, based on what we see. And, you know, the construct can reform sometimes, and I think it's important to remember to update your thinking. And the other part of the question from C. Blake was about meditation in a group setting. She was asking about what I learned in Minneapolis when I used to practice with the Zen Center on Body Makaska Lake, and how that differs from meditating in private. Excuse me. I liked meditating at the Zen Center in Minneapolis in part, and this might sound unfriendly, but I liked that we weren't expected to form a community. We weren't expected to know one another and to create relationships. We could come and go in silence and, you know, sit down and take what we needed and then move along. And I appreciated that because I have a personal hang-up about forming groups around spiritual practices. I just do. It's just a hang-up of mine. Other people might prefer it to meet other people, but I liked that I could just come and go. But the benefit of the group practice versus in private was that I felt a responsibility to sit still. When I was at home, you know, I would try it and I would set a timer, 10 minutes, and then I would get wiggly and I would let myself off the hook and then I wouldn't go longer. But in a room full of people who are all sitting quietly, if at the 10-minute mark, if we're supposed to be meditating for 40 minutes, if at the 10-minute mark I got wiggly, I felt more responsibility to be still, to sit down, hold it, tough it out, let myself be wiggly, and that allowed me to achieve new durations of meditation and to also learn about the discomfort. The thing that when I get wiggly, that's the thing that you need to learn to be still through. That's where the learning is, you know, and I had better luck with the pressure of having others around me, of, you know, staying still through that discomfort than when I was by myself. It's almost like if you go to like a fitness class and you end up working out harder because there's a trainer and there are other people, and so you do more than if you were just by yourself. It's exactly the same concept. So that was the benefit for me. When I came to Detroit, I tried a different center that had more emphasis on relationship building and creating community, which I respect. I'm totally okay with that as a concept. I just didn't want it. I kind of just wanted to have it be a personal concept. So now I mostly meditate entirely by myself or with Chewy, my little Shih Tzu, because she loves it when I meditate. It's like her favorite thing. So it gave me a practice that I have carried into my personal life long beyond it, and that's what I got from it. If you're able to meditate for long periods of time privately, maybe then it wouldn't have the same benefit, but it's also worth trying. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you'll meet somebody that you like because you want that community. You know, that's up to you. For me, you know, I liked the little kind of like icy distance that I had at the Minnesota Center. Okay, and the last question was, what does my perfect day start to finish? I love this question. I wanted to save it for last. And it's great because I'm on vacation, right? And, you know, I'm doing exactly what I want on my own time, so I felt very expansive. My perfect day is definitely going to be a fresh summer day, exactly like you see here today. Just like it's breezy, it's sunny, it's in the low 70s, and the sun is very, very bright. And I'm just it's like just perfect. I'm having the best day. So it would be a day like this, and I would be able to wake up without an alarm, usually around 8 a.m. I would take Chewy for a long walk, maybe a half an hour walk with her. She loves to do that. And then I would come home, and Mark and I, my husband, would have our smoothie. I've made a whole video about our daily smoothie. We had it today. We have it every day. Coffee, and take time getting into the day, you know, caffeinating, nourishing. And then around 10, I would get into a personal creative project, either if that's painting or making a video or gardening, anything that I want to work on that takes, you know, hours to do. I would like to start that at 10 while I'm feeling really energized and just ready, full of the day, until the afternoon, and I would stop and take a break, maybe rest a little bit, whatever that is, clean up, start cooking, maybe make dinner, maybe make a really healthy dinner with Mark and put music on, and then go for a very long walk, maybe meet up with friends afterwards. What I really like about a perfect day, I like to be outside, I like to be going at my own pace, and I like to have a little bit of time to be able to be creative and in my space. Most of my days are really scheduled and rushed, and so I'm working at a pace that's maybe a little faster than is my optimum pace. I like to kind of deliberate and focus, and sometimes, the way the world is these days, it's hard to get that kind of time. So I really enjoy having that sort of experience, and I love spending time with loved ones, and I love making healthy, good food and just being together. So that would be my perfect day. Maybe I would wrap it up, I guess, with the orchestra. I would go to something at the DSO, which is like one of my favorite things, and I would love that. That is what I have for the questions. These were such wonderful, soulful, thoughtful questions, and I really enjoyed journaling and thinking about it and thinking about all of you. And again, thank you so much for being such great supporters of my channel. I just have loved it so much. Thank you. I'm going to be back in the next couple of weeks. I've been testing, while I've been here, I've been testing the new formulation of the Aveda Be Curly line. I've got that in my hair right now. I've been playing with that, and I'll be having a video about specifically the styling products of the new Be Curly line. And then I also bought 10 different eyebrow pencils that are all labeled gray. The color name has gray in it, and I'm testing out as many gray eyebrow pencils as I can right now to figure out which ones I think are either the best value, the best color, or the best formula. So stay tuned. I've got that video coming up in the next couple of weeks too. So thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Please leave comments down below. You can ask me other questions. I'm happy to do another one of these if you guys like it. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well out there, and I hope you have a great week ahead. I'll be on vacation, soaking up the sun. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching, subscribing, supporting my channel. Thank you. Talk soon.